DreAllDay.com.
You're now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves every one of us to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We're going to make that a normal way of being for you. And then we're going to put all this together into one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one framework, one philosophy, one approach, one book. This daily, yes, you heard me correctly, daily, 365 times a year, 366 in a leap year, masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic, promotion is not bragging. This is a topic really about you promoting yourself and or promoting your goods, services, products, your achievements, your resume, whatever, in understanding that doing that promotion does not mean you are bragging. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. And if someone tries to make you feel as if, and people can't make you feel anything, but if someone says something that you end up feeling a certain way, that something's wrong with you because you're promoting yourself, I'm going to help you preemptively get over that problem. Or maybe if you've been having that problem, I'm going to help you get over it right now. Now, before I even get into more of the explanation of this topic, I have a text number where you can send me a text. And yes, it is me who will be responding to your text. I've gotten a bunch of texts from people who said they said something. They're like, is this really Dre? Or they said a bunch of stuff and they said, I know this is not really Dre. But anyway, yes, it is really Dre. Trust me. I'm recording right now. Just yesterday, I remember at the end of the day, I was going through my text in that number, and I spent damn near an hour just responding to people's texts. So if you want to know if that's really me, yes, that is really me, damn it. I just spent an hour responding to your text. So my number, anyway, where anything that I say that resonates with you, you have a follow-up question, something that you want to know about, maybe you have something you want to add to something that I said. Usually it shouldn't be anything you need to add, but if you happen to be in that situation or you just have a question, just something that lands with you really well, send me a text. The number is 305-384-6894. Once again, 305-384-6894. Now, anyway, the topic today, promotion is not bragging. Many people are reluctant, or they become reluctant to talk themselves up or your work, talk it up, out of fear of looking like you're some kind of braggart or looking like you're arrogant, or you think that other people think that you're going to be better than them. And since you can't read other people's minds, it's not really what they think, it's really what you think. And then you're assigning it to other people to give yourself an excuse. Today, I'm going to sell you on why that's not true. Why it's not true that you promoting yourself means you're doing anything wrong, why you're making any kind of mistake, and why you actually need to promote yourself and your work probably more, not less. You're probably underselling yourself and not overselling yourself. And I'll get into explaining there's some caveats and some exceptions to this, and how can you actually do it. We're going to get into all of that here today and in the other masterclasses to which I will be referring you. Point number one, the topic once again, promotion is not bragging. Let's get a definition of this word promotion. Promotion means activity that supports or provides active encouragement for the furtherance of a cause, venture, or aim. That's what a promotion is. Anything that you're doing to encourage the furtherance of a situation, a person, place, thing, a cause, a venture, a person, aim. Okay? When you have something good going on, it is your duty to let the world know about it, or at least let the people who need to know about it know about it. So if you're a basketball trainer, you don't have to tell the people at the nursing home about it, but you might want to tell the basketball players. All right? It's your duty to let people know about it. If that cause, venture, or aim happens to be you as a human being, and something you're doing would be helpful to a certain percentage of the population, it's your duty to promote yourself to that percentage of the population. Why? Not because not just because it's going to serve your ego, maybe it will, not just because the things that you stand to gain from it, and maybe there's a lot, but because what you have to offer to that percentage of the population will help them. The reason you need to promote it is because you are helping them. And it's not just about what you get. Of course, are you going to get something on the back end? Hopefully you do. I mean, there's a return on investment. You make an investment, you get something back. You work, you get paid. Or at least if you produce the results when you work, you get paid. I mean, it's all part of the work on your game system. You work on your game, you show your game, you get paid for your game. And part of getting paid for your game is creating the exchange. You get something, they get something. That's a fair, even exchange that can be repeated because everybody feels like they won in the situation. So it is your job. It is your duty to promote yourself, promote your products, your services, and your work Not just because of selfish reasons, and what you stand to gain could be a selfish reason. Nothing wrong with being selfish, folks. Success is selfish. But the only way you can really create real success for yourself is you have to somehow, some way, be giving value to other people. All right. Even if you're the most selfish person in the world, your selfishness must still be benefiting others in order for you to really gain from it. There's only so long you can only be thinking about yourself and continue to create success. That has a shelf life. But as long as you're giving to others, you can be thinking about yourself and thinking about giving to others at the same time, and everybody wins. That is a win-win situation. In life, you want to create win-win situations. Why? Because both parties will be willing to do it again. If you're creating a situation where only you win and everybody else loses, those people are eventually going to stop creating, they're going to stop getting involved with you, and you won't be able to keep doing it. And if you create situations where everybody else wins and you lose, you're not going to keep doing it. Or at least you're not going to do it with the same level of enthusiasm, because you're not gaining anything from it. Everybody has to be succeeding. So when you promote yourself and you promote your work, the people who need what you're offering, they're finally getting it, because they can't get it anywhere else, because you are a one of one, and you're getting what you need because you're giving value and you're getting value back in exchange. So this is the win-win situation you want to create. However, if you have a problem with promoting yourself, or a problem with promoting your work, or you have been socialized by whomever to tell you that promoting yourself means you're bragging, or that you're arrogant, or you're cocky, or you're talking yourself up too much and you should be more humble. Anyone who has told you that has properly castrated your confidence. You've been confidence castrated. They've cut you off because they've cut you off, now you're not doing the thing that will serve you and would serve the people that need it. So now you're just failing everybody all at the same time, all because you've been fed some bad information. But that's why we had a show here, to fix the bad information that you've been fed up to this point in your life. When you have something good going, it is your job to let everybody know about it, or at least the people who need to know about it, know about it. And if that happens to be you, if you happen to be the it, so what? All right, you're the it. All right, and there are people out here who have good stuff to offer, and they are supposed to be out there promoting themselves. And there are other people who don't have that much good stuff to offer, and they should be quiet. This is how it is. All right, life is not an equal deal. All right, everybody does not get the same amount of attention, and they shouldn't, because everybody ain't got the same amount of game. All right, we've had enough conversation about equality here on this show, and the myth that it is. Even though you got a lot of people out here talking about equality, everything ain't going to be equal. I don't care how much you try. I told you about this in episode number 1622, why equality is impossible. So if you want to know what I think about that, go listen to that episode. Now, I want you to understand, while we're still on point number one here, the topic today is promotion is not bragging. While there is an art to drawing attention, I want to make sure I'm clear about that. And I talked about this in episode number 1511, the art and skill of drawing attention to yourself. The art and science, rather, of drawing attention to yourself. It still must be done one way or another. All right, even if you're a sloppy artist, you still need to draw attention to yourself. If people don't know you, how could they ever get what they need from the goodness of your game? Another trick question, it is impossible. They can't get what you're offering if they do not know that you exist. All right, so it is your job to learn that art of promoting yourself, of talking yourself up, of drawing attention to yourself, because you need that art in order to get your game to the people who need it. Because if you don't do it, they'll never get what they need. They will suffer for the rest of their lives because of the lack of what you offer. And it's not because it doesn't exist. It's because you have failed to do your duty of promoting yourself and promoting your work. Point number two. The topic once again today is promotion is not bragging. Number two, there's a saying out there of shameless self-promotion. I think everyone's heard of the phrase shameless self-promotion. I want to alert you to something. This should not be misconstrued as you should just go out and talk yourself up to anyone and everyone at any cost, no matter what it costs you. Just talk yourself up to everybody. Do not do this. This is a bad strategy. This will not work. This is a recipe for failure. All right. Shameless self-promotion, it does not mean just blindly promote yourself to anyone and everyone and every time, every chance that you get. All right. This is where the art comes in. So when I say the art and the science of drawing attention to yourself, all right, shameless self-promotion is more science-based, meaning just promote yourself no matter where you go, have no shame about it. The art of drawing attention to yourself is understanding when to say something, when to say nothing, and what to say, and how to say it, and how much to say, how much not to say in certain situations, depending on your audience, depending on who you are, and depending on the situation. This is the art part of it. This is the part that can't be colored by numbers. It can't be, all right, if this person's here, you say this, and then they do this, and then you do that. That's not the way that it works. Life is not that cut and dry. If life was like that, listen, our whole lives would be run by computer chips. Now, a lot of our lives are run by computer chips, but not all of it. All right, there's still a human touch that cannot be replaced. The definition of bragging is excessively proud and boastful talk about one's achievements or possessions. Now, I want you to notice the key word in that definition. The key word is excessive. That's the key word because excessive is relative. All right, for some people, 10 push-ups is excessive because they're not used to doing 2 push-ups. So 10 is excessive. For other people who could do 1,000, they do 1,000 push-ups a day, 10 push-ups is nothing. They might as well not have done anything in the first place. So it's very relative. So who's the judge of what's excessive and what's not? Who is the judge that can say you're arrogant or you're cocky or you're bragging or you're just promoting in a healthy way? Who's the judge? The judge is everybody. Every human being you come across is a judge, and you including yourself. So if your lack of touch, your lack of artistic ability in your promotion leaves a sour taste in the mouths of too many other people, those people will do everything they can do to not engage with or promote you. Why? Because your promotion rubbed them the wrong way. Even though everything you said was factually accurate, even though you are as great as you say you are, your lack of artistic touch in doing so just didn't land the right way. And this is all part of the game, everybody. This is part of the game. The way that you deliver something is not necessarily what you deliver is right or wrong. It's not necessarily whether you are factually accurate and that you are better than all these other people in the room. It's the way you deliver it that determines how it actually lands with other people. Because understand, nobody is wired exactly the same as anyone else. Meaning, the way that you share something and the way that you hear it has no bearing on the way other people will take it in. And it is your job to realize this and read the room, read people, get a better understanding of other people, which means engaging your listening skills and not just your speaking skills when it comes to communication, because communication is both taking in and giving out, is engaging those skills, understanding the art of how to get your message across to other people, and understand that you must tailor that message based on your audience. You cannot give the same message the same way to everyone. It will not land with some audiences, even though it's the exact same information that the audience from yesterday loved and they lapped up every second of everything that you said. The next audience, they don't hear anything. Why? Because you forgot about the art part. You were following the science, but you forgot about the art. It's a combination of both. And I know a lot of people out there wish that life was just a science and somebody could just tell them exactly what to do in every situation. Again, if that was the case, then all humans would be replaced by robots, because robots are much more efficient and much more dependable when it comes to doing the same thing over and over and over again, much more than any human being. So if you want it like that, then we'll get rid of you and replace you with a robot. Otherwise, you better learn art, because this is all part of the game. If your lack of touch is not landing, meaning you're not landing with other people, that's your fault. So there's some skills that you need to develop. I would suggest you read the Leadership Bundle books, which you can access by going to workonyourgame.com, where we have books on people skills and conversational skills and working on your ability to communicate, which is what you lack if that's happening to you. I talked about this in episode number 1738, and circling back to the main point here, number 2, talking about shameless self-promotion. In episode 1738, when I talked about brevity, what led to that episode was me being in the Clubhouse app and people coming up on stage and introducing themselves, and a lot of times people just talking too much, doing so much self-promotion of themselves, so much talking themselves up, that the amount of time they spent talking themselves up was more than the amount of time they spent actually giving value. And I think a lot of people have this misconception that talking themselves up and telling other people how great they are is a way of giving value, but it's actually not. All you're doing is promoting yourself. You're promoting yourself shamelessly, but in a negative way. In a negative way such that the only thing people are going to remember about you is that you won't stop talking about yourself, and that can land on other people as if you are bragging too much or you're arrogant or you're cocky, even if you're actually not, because you lack the art, because you have not mastered touch. Is this fair? Maybe, not necessarily. Not necessarily unfair is not necessarily fair. Again, fair is a relative term as well. Your job is to master this art and know when to promote, when not to, when to hold back, when to tell a little bit about yourself and let them find out the rest. When to tell them a whole lot about yourself and let them find out a little bit. So sometimes when you try too hard to talk yourself up, it actually has the opposite effect of what you were aiming for. You were trying to get people to admire you more by talking about yourself more, but it actually makes people admire you less because you're trying too hard. Again, this is all the art. So do not shamelessly self-promote yourself just in a blind way because you heard that phrase. Don't do that. Learn to consciously self-promote. Meaning when you're self-promoting, you know exactly what you're doing, and you must master the art of timing and knowing when to hold back, when to stop talking, when to not say anything about yourself, and let people just find out on their own. Oftentimes that can be much more impressive than if they hear it from you. It's better to let people find out how great you are than for you to be putting it in their face all the time. Again, I'll say one more time, this is the art. And again, if you want to hear the episode where I talked about that, that's episode number 1511, the art and the science of drawing attention. Point number 3, understand that there is no one right or wrong way. Again, the topic once again is promoting yourself. We're talking about the fact that promotion is not bragging. Promoting yourself in your work does not mean that you're bragging. There's nothing wrong with promoting yourself, but there is a wrong way to promote yourself. Number 3, there is no one right or wrong way to play the whole game of promotion, of talking yourself up, of getting the name out there, the word out there about your name and about your game and about what you do. All right. And again, that's why this whole situation can be fluid, because every human being is different. So the way that you talked about yourself to somebody on Monday might be excellent. They might have loved you and became a lifelong fan. You talk about yourself the exact same way to a different person on Wednesday, and they'll hate you and say this person's a complete asshole. All they did was talk about themselves the whole time. What's the difference? The difference is the person you're talking to. It is your job to learn to read the room, learn to read people, read through your instincts how other people are perceiving you. Become more self-aware. All of this is part of your communication skill, folks. Communication is not just how you put words together and give speeches and talk on your Instagram story. Communication is also listening, reading, inferring, noticing things that are not being said, reading people's energies. All of this is part of communication, whereas many people only get the talk about yourself part of communication. They don't get the rest of it. And trust me, I know a lot of seasoned quote-unquote professionals who don't have very good communication skills. All they know about is talking. Communication is all of this stuff. So being that there's no right or wrong way, on a personal level, understand that much of this is how you promote yourself and talk about yourself is based on your nature as a person. It's based on your natural communication style. What's natural for you? What feels like you're just being yourself? How are people perceiving you? How do people read you when you come in a room? I know how people read me when they see me. I know based on the way that I dress and my physical stature and the way that I walk and the way that I talk. I know how people are perceiving me, and I learn to use that. I learn to play off of that. I know what people are thinking when I walk into a room. I know when I walk into a room of basketball players, what they're thinking. I got a general idea. I don't know exactly. I can't read their minds, but I got a general idea of what they see. And I also know when I walk into a room of some white folks who don't look like they play basketball, what they're perceiving when they see me, and I got the same clothes on. I understand. So, and I learn to play off of that. This is all part of the game, people. This is all part of your communication skill. And again, no words have to be exchanged for communication to be taking place. So you got to learn how to play off of that. Some people are known for example, some people are known for always promoting and hyping things up to the point that when we see them or we hear their name, we like, all right, we know we're going to get some promotion here. And we actually look forward to it because we like it. That's what we like from that person because that's their natural state. That's them being them. So we like hearing it from them. Somebody like Don King, and you remember Don King, he's not so active anymore, but he was a big boxing promoter back in the 90s and into the early 2000s. He was always promoting boxing matches, and he was a big time promoter. He would just talk things up, and he would just make it seem like it was the one thing that you absolutely can't miss. And Don King was a hell of a promoter. He promoted a lot of people. He made a lot of people a whole lot of money because of the way that he promoted. And every time you seen Don King, you knew some kind of promotion was going to be happening. You look at somebody like Puff Daddy. He was a big promoter. He got every artist who worked with him at his label, and during their heyday, they all sold a whole bunch of records and they all became household names. Not because, yes, they were all talented, but there are a lot of talented artists that none of us had never heard of. The reason they all became so big is because they had a master promoter working it, orchestrating the whole situation from behind the scenes and sometimes in front of the scenes. That was Puff Daddy. You look at somebody like these days in entrepreneurship, somebody like Grant Cardone. He's a big self-promoter. He promotes himself, he promotes his work, he promotes his product, and his whole brand is based around that and telling other people they need to be doing the exact same thing. Now, some people misconstrue his message and they go try to do things the way that he does things, but they don't have his nature, they don't have his ability, they don't have his assets. So when they try it, it doesn't quite work for them. So that's something that, with some touch, I would expect him to explain. I don't know, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. I don't follow enough of his material to know if he has, but it's something I've seen a lot of disciples of his trying to do what he does, but they can't quite do it because they're not him. But he's a guy, when I see his name, I know he's going to be promoting something because that's his style. That's what works for him. Again, look at somebody like Kanye West. Is he a promoter? Hell yeah, he's a promoter. Every time his name comes up, he's going to be talking about something and bigging something up and getting you excited about something, even if it's something, even if you're laughing about it, even if you're angry about it, but he will draw your attention. That's what he does. That is his nature. Now, again, I'm just giving these people as examples, not saying that you should be like them because you're not them. Maybe you can take certain elements of each of these people and make it work for you, but you got to know what to keep and what to throw away. All right, again, this is all part of the art. These are people known for promotion, and their audiences want it from them. You hear that person's name, you know you're going to get some promotion because that's just what they do. Somebody like DJ Khaled. I look at DJ Khaled on Snapchat sometimes just to hear him, how he talks, because it's entertaining to me. Not even necessarily I think I'm going to learn anything, not because I want to do anything he's saying, because it's just entertaining. The way that he talks, he is a natural self-promoter. It works for him. Look at his career. He puts out albums and doesn't rap. He doesn't rap. He doesn't sing. A lot of times he doesn't even produce his own songs, but he has all these albums. He got more albums than a lot of rappers. What does he do? We don't even know what he does. He's a promoter. That's the thing that he does, and that works for him. That is his nature. Doesn't mean you should be doing it. But these are people who are known for it. We expect that excitement from them. But there are other people out there who have a much more subtle approach. Look at somebody like Jay-Z. Now, everybody knows who Jay-Z is, but is he a big self-promoter? Not really. I mean, he's not really on social media. He's not online publishing content. If and when he does do an interview, it's usually very relaxed. He's usually very calm. He's not jumping up and down, yelling and screaming and making a lot of noise and telling everybody go do this and repeating himself over and over again. He doesn't do any of that. He has a much more subtle approach, but we know who Jay-Z is. And can we agree that Jay-Z has created a significant amount of success for himself and for others? Yes. So this is not to say that only one way works. Look at someone like Warren Buffett. Is he a big self-promoter? Not at all. Last time, I don't think Warren Buffett's on any social media. I don't think he is. I know his name gets mentioned, but I don't think he's out there publishing tweets or posting pictures on Instagram or trying to be an influencer. But and he has a very subtle approach, similar to Jay-Z. But can we agree that Warren Buffett has created a significant amount of success for himself? So I'm giving you examples on both sides so you understand that on either end of the spectrum and in a lot of places in between, there are ways that you can play the game and still be successful. You don't need to be like this person. You don't need to be like that person. You need to, first of all, look at yourself in the mirror and notice what your natural style is. And then you can borrow elements from other people that work for you and implement them into your approach. But do not go out trying to be like somebody else. That will always fail. You will always fall flat on your face trying to be something that you're not. And when you're trying to be something that you're not, understand people can see right through that. They might not tell you, but they can tell. Let's recap today's class, which is promotion is not bragging. Many people become reluctant to talk themselves up or talk up their work because they have been socially taught to fear looking like they're bragging too much or that you're arrogant or that you think you're better than people. Today I'm going to explain to you why that's not true, but also and why you need to promote yourself more, not less, but also some caveats and some explanations of what I mean. Number one, promotion is defined as activity that supports or provides active encouragement for the furtherance of a cause, venture, or aim. When you have something good going, it's your duty to let the world know about it, okay? But there is an art to it. I talked about this in episode 1511. So people don't know about you. They can't get what you're offering, but at the same time, you got to know how to deliver it, and there is an art to it, and if you deliver it wrong, even if people need it, they won't know. Number two, there's a saying of shameless self-promotion. It's been out forever, but understand this should not be misconstrued as you should just talk yourself up at any and all costs. I talked about this in episode 1738, talking about brevity. Some people try to talk themselves up so much trying to impress that they actually have the opposite effect and get people annoyed with them because they're always trying to talk themselves up. You want to try hard to get people to remember you, but never look like you're trying too hard to get people to remember you. And that may have you scratching your head. That's because there's an art to it. And again, I talked about that in episode 1511, and also see episode 1738 on brevity. This also ties right into that. Part of the art is not saying too much. That is always great art to say less. And number three, there's no one right or wrong way to play this whole game of promotion. On a personal level, a lot of it is based on your personal nature, your communication style, and understanding how you are being perceived by other people. Some people are known for promotion, like Don King, Kanye West. There are other people who are known for their subtlety, like Jay-Z and Warren Buffett. But these people have all created success. And I'm giving you those extremes so you understand that on either end of the spectrum and in between, you can create success through self-promotion. It's you playing the game based on the skills and attributes that you bring to the table, not what other people bring to the table, but your natural style, which will require you looking a lot more in the mirror. Now, anything I said here today has really resonated with you, giving you an insight, something that really landed with you, let me know about it. Since we don't have comments on the podcast apps, my number is 305-384-6894. Again, 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre all day.